Hi everybody. Hey, my friends have been after me for a little bit to tell Maddie's story, and I know you guys have seen my posts about her. You'll see posts that she's in the hospital or just that we're off to a doctor's appointment. And I wanted to say, I guess before I started telling her story, I wanted to say thank you for everybody that prays for her and for everybody that gives thumbs up for her and sends us love in our times of high stress when we are in the hospital and we don't know what the heck is going on. Opening Facebook and seeing all those hearts float up and all of that love and encouragement, it is amazing, and I can't tell you how much helpful it is. So thank you everybody for doing that for us. So Mads is 7 years old now. When she was about 6 weeks before she was due, and the doctor figured out that there was a problem with her, and Casey's belly, my daughter's belly, was not as big as it was supposed to be, and so she said, hey, let's do an ultrasound. So we did, and she thought that when they did her ultrasound, they found out that there was a problem with her brain. So we knew 6 weeks before she was born we had some problems coming. We toured the women's hospital. She was born right outside of NICU. They warned us, hey, don't worry, she may have to be ran out of here. We totally expect that. Her brain's just underdeveloped. It didn't develop like it should. And so the day she was born, thank you, Jesus, she was not ran out of the room, and she was life-sustaining, so she could sustain her own life, and we were so blessed by that. So they started kind of going over her from head to toe, and first thing they found was that she was not born without an anus, and I had no idea that was even an option, but apparently it was. So when she was a day old, they took her out and they made her one. It was an amazing thing. It kind of started things off strange, but it's okay. Of all the things they said could be wrong and that she might not be able to breathe on her own, we'll take that. We'll fix that. So they did. We were in the NICU for 2 weeks after that, and we came home. And over the last 7 years, it's just been a roller coaster ride. Lots of things have happened. Her stomach didn't digest like it was supposed to, and it was all part of, being born that way. So she had failure to thrive. It was hard to get her to eat and those kinds of things. When she was 2, she had her first bone fracture. And from 2 until 7, she's now had 18. So it's been a lot of broken bones, and meaning she would run across the floor and she would break a bone. It was not like she was jumping off something high. It's just general normal life, and her bones would break in several pieces. So we've been dealing with that. Casts, walking boots. This last spring, she was getting out of her cast. We put her in a walking boot, and she would literally refracture by dinner. And we go right back into a cast. She was in a cast and wasn't still able to walk in a cast. They did an MRI and found out that while in the cast, she had gotten 3 stress fractures. So her bones are about the equivalent of an 80-year-old, and they've not gotten any better in 3 years. So what they've been telling us is, hey, her spine is the weakest part of her body. As her weight goes up, she's going to break more and more because her bones can't handle the weight of her, and being her spine is the weakest part, it's also going to start breaking at certain points, and she's probably going to end the rest of her life in a wheelchair. Well, it's horrible news. What do you do with that? So that's kind of like what takes the most of her time, but certainly isn't all of it. Because of her brain issues, she does have seizures. The part of her brain that is underdeveloped is the part that controls her body temperature. And so we can't go out on hot days because she overheats, and it's horrible. She can't get warm in the wintertime. So, there's just a lot of things with Mads. Part of her not being born with an anus is they can also have what's called a neurogenic bladder. And so she has not been able to fill her bladder. So there was 0 chance that she would be potty trained. And of all the things that goes on with Mads, for whatever reason, I was so stressed about that because the social issues with that are just enormous. How is she ever going to go play with friends with dirty diapers. It's just not going to work. So, needless to say, Mad's journey has been just difficult. And I want to say before, and don't feel sad for Mads, because she's an amazing kid and she takes it all with stride and she's super happy, and you know, we work hard on all of those things, but things are just crazy here. So I'd say it was May, and a friend of mine reached out to me and she says, hey, I would feel like a total jerk if I didn't tell you about this. She goes, because I know that this has helped my friend. Daughter saved her life. She had Crohn's disease and it saved her. And she goes, if there's anything that can help Madeline, she goes, I just can't not tell you. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, what is it? Tell me about it. I'm open to anything. And so it was transfer factors, and I'm like, okay, well, let me look into that. And I did, and it was a lot of health things, and the science made sense to me. So at this point, if you got a kid that has suffering every day, and you don't really, you just don't know what her future is going to bring, you're going to try. You're going to try whatever you can to make her life the best that it can be. And so we put her on transfer factors, and you know, I would have taken anything. You know, she doesn't gain weight well. She weighed 33 pounds for 3 solid years. We always had a feeding tube threat looming over our head. You know, it was just like, give me anything, because we're not getting anywhere here. So Mads was on transfer factors, I would say probably a month or so, and I'm telling you what, she was in aqua therapy because her bones aren't strong enough to do land therapy, and she starts doing the pee-pee dance in the pool, like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and the physical therapist said, hey, does she have to go to the bathroom? I'm like, no, she medically tested, cannot feel her bladder at all. So I started watching her, and I'm like, there's just no way. So we started taking her to the bathroom, and I'm telling you, lo and behold, this child, for whatever reason, thank you, Jesus, can feel her bladder. And she, for the first time in 4 years, has gone from May to today without a fracture. And she's in an AFO, but she's jumping and running and playing and has not broken a bone. And oh my gosh, that's all we did was go get casts and pain management and all of that for her. So this is wonderful. She's like, oh my gosh, it's like normal. She has grown 2 inches since May. She has, she now weighs a little bit over 40 pounds and still has not broken a bone, which, oh, wow. I mean, you just don't have any idea. And the biggest thing for me was, because of the way her brain was developed, she did not sweat. I mean, her body just did not control her body temperature like most people. And so she had eye surgery couple weeks ago, and they gave her a warm blanket to wrap her in, and so she had me on one side and a warm blanket on the other side, and I'm telling you, she had sweat dripping off her forehead, and you could have blown me over with a feather. That just isn't, holy cow. I was so shocked by it. So I have to say, transfer factors are amazing. And had I called For Life and said, hey, will transfer factors work for a child with multiple congenital anomalies, I'm pretty sure they would have said, nope, can't help you. I mean, it'll make her healthy, it'll help her immune system, but it cannot fix what was never working properly. But hello, I'm gonna have to call For Life and say, guess what, it does work. It does make this ginormous difference. So I want to pay it forward, because my friend reached out to me, and I will forever be grateful for her for this, because I have hope for Maddie's future for the first time, gosh, ever. So I want to say to you, I don't know what's going on with your health, your loved one's health, what's going on with your life, but this is something that you need to look at, because it does work, and it is a blessing, and it is from God, and I am such a grateful Mimi for it today. If you want to understand the science and how transfer factors can help you, how they work, what do they do to your body to make them work, if you'll just comment down below and say phone call. There's like a 10-minute phone call. They do a great job of explaining in very simple terms how transfer factors improve and help your immune system. If you have any kind of autoimmune that is of your bowel, or any autoimmune at all, make a note that you want to see a video. I would love to send you my friend's video about her daughter that had an autoimmune disease, because it's just an incredible story, and that might be something that you want to hear more about. If you have a certain health condition and you just want to know, will transfer factors help me? If you want to just message me privately or put down in the notes what your medical condition is, I can email you a fact sheet, because the important thing here is take it to your doctor. You know, this is, you know, something that you want to work with your doctor on. For me personally, I've been on blood pressure medicine for 18 years, and I started taking cardio, which supports heart health. And I am now off of my blood pressure medicine. But you want to do that with your doctor supervising you and helping you adjust your medication. So let me send you some information so you can take it to your doctor. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I just want to bless other people like our family has been blessed. And again, if you scroll by, I don't know if you're a scroller and you scroll by when you see somebody that's in the hospital. But if you take a second to say, like, I'm praying, or sending them some love, I have to tell you, it makes a world difference when you're really in a tough spot. So, God bless all of you. Thank you for listening to me ramble about Maddie's story. She is an amazing kid, and hopefully you'll get to meet her someday out and about, because everybody's day is a little better with Mad Sauce. So, I will talk to you soon. Thank you.